The Lethwei World Championships was bringing the amazing kickboxing sport of Lethwei to global combat sports fans. And unfortunately, it was shut down as unrest hit its home country of Myanmar. I'm joined today by the CEO and founder of that brand, and he talks about that sports promotion, all the amazing work that was being featured on shows like Joe Rogan, UFC Fight Pass, and across the world. It is a really amazing sport, the art of 9 limbs, where you're also able to allow it to headbutt. And as a result, it's been gaining international traction and fame. We talked about some of the growth of that league and some of the future plans to bring the World Lethwei Championship back to the combat sports world. I hope everyone's enjoying this content. If you are, please give me a subscribe, a like, drop a comment. All of those kind words that people leave me helps power me through all this content that I'm putting out. Really appreciate it. Now, let's get it. Welcome back to Fight Capital, where we step into the ring of combat sports business. I'm your host, Ryan Rappaport. Today I'm joined by Gerald Ng, who's the former CEO of World Lethwei Championship. And Gerald has taken over a decade of media and publication relations experience to become an instrumental figure in promoting the art of 9 limbs, Lethwei, globally. Despite recent civil unrest in Myanmar, Gerard has continued to drive the sport's professional international expansion with strong partnerships and a vision for cultural innovation. Thanks for joining me today, Gerard. How are you and where are you joining from?
Hi, Ryan. Thanks for having me. Really happy to be on the call and talk about Lethway. I'm currently based in Singapore, and I spend some time between Singapore and France right now.
Well, it's not a martial arts that people are very familiar with. I think, if anything, probably here in America, the person who's done the best at promoting it is Joe Rogan. Funny enough, with David Leduc, who was, I know, a part of your organization for a while too. But I'm just curious, what led to your passion in the creation of this world combat sports Lethwei promotion?
It was a huge opportunity back in 2016. We were seeing the rise of mixed martial arts across all of the world, but particularly in the early 2010s, it was very prominent around Asia, and it was just a confluence of factors. I have to attribute a large part of this to the Burmese investors, who are like the most traditional businessmen you might meet, but they had this vision of showcasing their culture and bringing the global fans, combat sports fans, to give them a glimpse into the world of their local culture and Lethwei. So they told me about this vision, and I was working in combat sports. I had years in the sports media broadcast. So then we embarked on this journey, started in October of 2016, and in the 5.5, 6 years that I was there, we managed to scale it to a live broadcast across 70 different countries and an additional 30 countries on delayed, which we were the first Burmese broadcast of any kind to be broadcast internationally, and we're really proud of the progress and growth that we had there.
I'm just curious, obviously, with all the civil unrest that happened in the country there, it's no longer happening. Just talk to me some of the steps that you're looking to take as an organization to maintain and continue to grow the story of Lethwei internationally.
Yeah, so one thing that I really wanted to share with you was we are trying to kickstart World Lethwei Championship again. It's been fairly dormant since 2021. But in the next coming week, we're going to launch a crowdfunding campaign and get the fans involved in this new version of World Lethwei Championship. So bring it to a more international fan ownership model. We are trying to replicate similar models that we've seen in like the National Football League with the Green Bay Packers and other sports organizations around the world. And we will give a voice to the fans that have made it possible to get World Lethwei Championship to where we are today, give them the voice, and even have a say in some of our decision-making processes moving forward. So looking to restart with this crowdfunding campaign and with bringing the team back together, and with some of the previous operating processes we had in place, and also with the partners that we had previously, to launch World Lethwei Championship again sometime in the first quarter of 2025. And I think it's been, I mean, in the past year, like 2-3 years, um, every time I meet someone and I share with them what we've been up to, they've always been asking when we're going to bring it back. So very excited to share that plans are underway to kickstart it again. And even though we haven't done much in the past 2.5 years in our own promotion, the team has actually worked tirelessly to disseminate our operating processes to the new promotions that were starting up in Myanmar again. We've always been doing this when we were in operation, but we've still been helping the local promotions um, with their efforts to grow the sport and been active in that role as well throughout this entire process. But World Lethwei Championship as a brand, we're looking to have it come back again in the next year. So very excited for that.
Well, there's just been this massive rise of bare knuckle combat sports and boxing across the US and Europe. I know it's been recently growing in Asia and South Asia as well. How can Lethway differentiates itself to attract new fans and supporters?
I think the growth of bare knuckle boxing, especially, is been a real success model that, of course, World Lethwei Championship has a lot to learn from. But also, we feel that it's mutually symbiotic because it helps us to grow our combat sports fan base as well. A lot of similarities, and we share a lot of the same audiences when it comes to bare knuckle boxing. I had this discussion with the guys from David Feldman from BKFC like a long time ago, and like Nick Chapman, who runs BKFC Asia, is a close friend as well.
I love Nick. He's
And
been
so
on the
very
show as
happy.
well.
Yeah,
Hey everyone, quick favor to ask. Did you know that nearly 80% of the people tuning in right now aren't subscribed yet? That subscribe button down below is what powers me every week to keep putting out these podcasts. Big shout out and thank you to everyone that's been supporting me for this. I couldn't do it without you. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe below. It means the world to me. And for everyone supporting me, thank you so much. Now back to the show.
he's an amazing guy, very interesting. But it's been really exciting to see, and very heartening to see their success. Very happy for them. So what we want to do in World Lethwei Championship is continue to grow our fan base of hardcore combat sports fans of Lethwei in particular, because there are people who love this sport even before the birth or the growth of World Lethwei Championship and the growth of bare knuckle sports. And it already has a sizable fan base in Myanmar. It's 50 million people. It's the second biggest sport in the country after football. So and then we just want to continue to showcase this to people who have not experienced the sport, experienced the culture, and then as we grow organically, there's already a big enough fan base that if we serve this fan base well, the sky is really the limit for World Lethwei Championship.
Yeah, well, it's a very interesting spot to be in. Myself, I'm a huge fan of striking arts. I mean, all combat sports, really. But as a Muay Thai practitioner myself, I really appreciate the traditional realm of the combat sports. And there is in Muay Thai and Lethway, there is this very spiritual aspect of the sports as well. It's funny I've released an episode today with my crew, Sean Madden, who I learned Muay Thai from. I had a very famous crew from Sitmachai, crew doms from Sitmachai, particularly in like Rajmadan Stadium, which I'm wearing my Rajmadan Stadium shirt right now. There is this very strong cultural and spiritual element in it. And I'm just curious, what are some of the challenges and opportunities that you see in incorporating those cultural elements into combat sports events for a global audience?
I think it's the coolest thing possible to watch a show and appreciate not just the art in the ring itself, but the art surrounding the entire sport. It shines a light on, if you think about it, like Lethwei for Myanmar and Muay Thai for Thailand serves as ambassadors for the entire country to showcase not just the sport or the people in the sport, but it showcases the culture of the country. It showcases the people in the country, and it's the best and easiest way to promote the country to a mass audience. And you can see with the growth of Muay Thai, it came with the growth of Thailand as a tourism hub as well. And eventually, once the civil unrest in Myanmar is a little bit better or resolved, we want to continue this effort to showcase the potential of the country, and both economically as from a tourism perspective, and be able to continue that growth. And the best part about it is there's so many similarities in terms of the music, the outfits in Muay Thai, in Lethway. But once you understand the nuance of it, and you watch it, the differences make it even cooler that you can appreciate both at the same time.
Well, you while you were CEO, you had some really amazing partnerships with broadcasters like Canal Plus, UFC Fight Pass, and obviously that helps expand the reach. Talk to me about how important those type of relationships are in helping getting a global footprint for this brand.
It was absolutely crucial to have partners, broadcast partners like them. Our broadcast revenue was our primary driving factor for the organization. No other organization has ever started from a country such as Myanmar and tried to expand globally. You always start from a first world city, Singapore, New York, Las Vegas, and that makes it a lot easier. But because we don't have the infrastructure within the city of Yangon and Myanmar to be able to self-sustain this expansion, we were heavily reliant on our international partners. And not just the international partners for revenue, but also for reach. They provided us a platform to speak to fight fans all around the world. And that was a fantastic opportunity that we would not otherwise have with such organizations such as Canal Plus, UFC Fight Pass. We were also working with Arena Sports in the Balkans. We also had partnerships with like Titan Channel in Spain, a whole host of other partners, broadcast partners as well, that allowed us. It's so crazy to think that a promotion based out of Myanmar was able to reach people in like Brazil, Argentina, the Czech Republic, the Scandinavian countries. It was a great opportunity, and we wouldn't have been able to do that without them.
Just wrapping up here, what lessons do you think other combat sports organizations can learn from what you were able to accomplish in the World Lethwei Championships and that approach to packaging the sport in a modern, entertainment-driven experience for a global fan base?
I think one of the things that I was really proud of was walking the tight line between modernizing the sport and retaining its core traditional values. And it's a very fine line, and it's very hard to navigate. When we first started World Lethwei Championship, right, a lot of the traditionalists and purists were outraged at us adopting a different set of rules than what they were traditionally used to, changing too much of it. But as we continue to showcase what we were able to do, show them that we are actually helping grow this sport, and by growing a bigger pie, it benefits everyone. Then they slowly started coming on board and becoming involved with what we were doing. And so one of the lessons I think was to be able to reach out and continue that path of growth, but not forget the roots of where we came from. And also with new technologies such as, like with commentary, you can have multiple languages now, simultaneously live across the world. So that provides a form of localization, while still continuing to have the same experience for everyone. And so we managed to still balance a little bit of both.
I know that with the ever increasing reliance on combat sports for these entertainment providers. I mean, we see everything the UFC has done with ESPN, what One Championships has accomplished, BKFC, Brave Combat, and the global hunger for this content. I feel very confident that World Lethwei Championships really has a spot in this market. And I'm really excited to see what's next for the organization. If people want to learn more about it or contribute in one way or form, how can they go about doing that, Gerald?
Yeah, find us on Facebook on our Facebook page. Send us a message there, and help support us in our upcoming crowdfunding campaign, and help us bring World Lethwei Championship back.
Well, please provide me the link once that's up and ready, and I'll share that across all my social networks. And I know it's early for you. I thank you so much for taking the time this morning, and really excited to see this start to proliferate again. I think it's a very valuable service and promotion that you've been providing to the world, and I'm excited to see it again soon in the near future.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining me. You have a nice day.